Girlfriend, do you feel like you're in a sales plateau? Well, girl, I have been there, done that too. Have you ever asked yourself, why are your clients and your prospects saying no to you? Well, we're going to get to the bottom of that in today's video. We'll see you on the other side. Hi there, my name is Ingafay, and I'm an authenticity strategist. And in today's video, we are going to discuss the 3 reasons why people normally tell us no. And a lot of the time, it doesn't have anything to do with us. So I want to give you each reason and then give you some ways that you could potentially overcome this so you will not have this prevent you in your sales when you hear no. Let's do this, shall we? So the first reason I wanted to talk to you about why people say no is one of the reasons that I have noticed in the beginning that I heard no was they don't know you. So you may think, well, they don't know you. Well, just think, oftentimes when we meet people and we are giving them our business card or we're telling them about what we do, they are interacting with us for the first time. And first, if they find out that we are a seller of a product or a service, they are kind of leery in the beginning, thinking that we are initially going to try to sell them something. So it's very important that we make it a point to build that know, like, and trust factor. And I wanted to share a story with you on how this had affected me in my business. So I can remember when I was still working my corporate job that one of my coworkers was looking for a gift for his wife for Christmas. And I have an executive gift giving concierge service that I've had for years. So when I heard him talking about this, I immediately went up to him and just started kind of asking him questions about what he was looking for and about what kind of things his wife liked, to see if my service could provide what he was looking for. Well, he started giving me answers, and we seemed to be going pretty good on he answering the questions pretty well. But I could tell he was hesitating for whatever reason and really was not interested in doing business with me. So as we continued to go on and talk about it, I decided just to leave it alone because I could feel that he was hesitating, but I couldn't really put my hands on it. So I asked one of my buddies who works with him on a regular basis to find out what was the real deal about why he wasn't wanting to do business with me. Well, I've come to find out his reason that he didn't want to do business is that he just flat out said, I don't really know her. So I guess because it was a gift for his wife and he really wanted to make sure it was going to be something that was going to daze, glaze, and amaze her. He really wasn't familiar enough with me to make that decision if I was going to be that person that would be able to do that. So he decided to err on the side of caution and not do business with me. So I wanted to tell you all of this to say how it's very important for you to build that know, like, and trust factor with your clients as well as your prospects, so that in their interaction with you and dealing with you, that you have given them enough time to really get to know you as a person, know the type of service that you provide, and know that you're really looking out for their best interests. So then when it comes to asking you to do something or providing a service to them, they feel secure in their heart of hearts that you're going to really give them what they're looking for. So I wanted to share that story with you to hope that would be a benefit you in the future. So just remember that one of the reasons people don't do business with you is because they don't know you. Okay? Now, before we go into the second reason why people don't do business or tell you no, I wanted to remind you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We upload a video every Thursday for your viewing pleasure, and we don't want you to miss a beat, so be sure to subscribe. So now let's talk about the second reason that people tell you no. Now, this reason that people tell you no is typically has nothing to do with you, and it's all about them. And that reason is they're just being human. It's just the humanness that we have, that inner critic in our head, that for whatever reason, when somebody is telling us how awesome we can be and how awesome their product or service is, and it's going to get us to our promised land, that we feel in our heart of hearts that it's not going to do it because of our human drama. We are doubting ourselves. We're thinking about when we have bought something that didn't work the time before, and we just don't want to take the risk of something like that happening again. Now, I can tell you as a buyer of many things, when it came to courses or coaching or anything in that realm, I have spent a lot of money on myself. And some of the times I have spent money and have not had a return on investment. And I'm talking thousands and thousands of dollars, y'all. So I know personally when it comes time for me to make a decision about a coach or a training or a mastermind, I do start asking questions because I really want to know who is given what and how I can get whatever I need out of the situation that I'm currently in from the training or the mastermind or the coaching that I'm involved in. I know from experience that I have made some bad mistakes when it comes to making investments in coaching programs. So I am somewhat hesitant, making sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's to make sure that the program that I'm about to invest in is going to definitely meet my need. And just like I go through that, other people go through that too. And it really has nothing to do with you as a person. It's just their human drama. So what I often recommend that people do is make sure that you have some kind of testimonials and make sure that you have a guarantee that people can feel comfortable with that kind of subsides their insecurity. Because when you have these things in place, then you can lower the resistant level of them feeling like they're going to spend money and not get the ultimate result that they want, and they feel like they have an out. So it's very important to have those guarantees, whether it be a money back guarantee or whether it be something that will allow them to try before they buy, maybe a trial period of some sort, or you have, like I said, testimonials from other people that have taken or bought your product and just got rave results from it. Make sure you have those kind of things available to the folks that will kind of help them get over their fears. So that is definitely something that a person will say no to, and it has nothing to do with you. So you just got to make sure that you do your work up front to answer those questions so that they can feel comfortable enough with you and what you have to offer, and know that if for whatever reason it doesn't work out the way they want to, they have an out. So I'm curious, have any of you said no because of the reasons that I just described? You were insecure, fear came in, or you were doubting yourself? I would love to know what you've done or if you've been in that kind of situation. So be sure to comment below and let us know what you're thinking. Now we're going to talk about the third reason that people say no. And the third reason that people say no is just strictly out of rejection. And this is often happens when we don't ask enough questions. We haven't clearly defined or we haven't clearly understood the problem that the person has. We may have just offered them a product or service and assumed that they would need what we have, when in actuality, we haven't defined exactly what they need, so they tell us no. So it's very important as a salesperson, whether you're in a coach or a consultant or in a direct sales space, that you ask them enough questions to clearly understand what your prospect or your client is really looking for. These questions are going to help you clearly define what the problem is that they're working to overcome. And when you ask these questions, you ask enough questions, they are going to basically sell themselves on what you have to offer. For example, if you are a coach or a consultant and you have a client that is looking for ways to manage their time, but you are trying to sell them on ways to actually get more leads in their business, there's a disconnect. And as a result of that disconnect, they are not going to want to do business for you because you're telling them about lead generation, assuming because every entrepreneur needs leads to sustain their business. But they're telling you they don't want to focus on the lead generation, or they haven't told you that because you haven't asked the right questions, that their focus is not the lead generation, but really the time management. And the way that you get to the time management is to ask those questions to find out that time management is really what they're looking for. And then be able to have them to answer the questions that you have with yes answers that will lead them to believe, oh, she has what I need. So that's why it's very important for you to ask at least 10 questions when you're interacting with your prospect or your client to clearly define what they need and if you are the person that can give them what they need. So these are the type of things that I teach my clients in the Relationship Accelerator program. We find out what your needs are, and you can connect with me via a group or one-on-one type of setting where we can hone in and really work through the problems that you're having in your business. So what I wanted to tell you is come and let's connect and see if we're a good fit via a fitting call. It's free to do. We talk for 15 minutes. We kind of talk through what you got going on in your business. It's a micro coaching call and find out if I have a solution for your particular problem. Now, go ahead and check out the description below to get the link for this fitting call. And I would love to connect with you to see if we're a good fit. And as always, thanks for watching and bye for now.